These are some critical parenting mistakes your pediatricians will never tell you to your face, but they will never let their kids do them. So what's the one thing doctors absolutely forbid for their own children? In a viral Instagram video, pediatricians and neurosurgeons revealed the rules they strictly enforce at home, and some are downright shocking. From hidden dangers to surprising everyday mistakes, we've gathered expert advice and real-life clips to show you what pediatricians warn against and why. These insights might just change how you approach parenting. Let's hear directly from the experts.
I would never let my kid eat grapes without cutting them.
One common example is the risk of choking on foods like grapes. Grapes are the perfect size and shape to block a child's airway completely. Did you know grapes are one of the top choking hazards for kids under 5? Research confirms that choking is a leading cause of injury-related deaths in this age group, and grapes are often named as a major culprit. Listen to this, parents. Cut grapes into smaller pieces. Also, make sure your children sit quietly while eating. And another gastroenterologist says in the video,
I would never let my kid play with a toy with a button battery.
Button batteries, small but shockingly dangerous. These tiny objects can cause severe internal injuries within just 2 hours of ingestion. Once lodged in a child's throat or digestive tract, they release harmful chemicals that can burn tissue and lead to life-threatening complications. With over 3,500 cases reported annually in the US alone, this silent hazard requires extra vigilance. Parents, secure devices containing these batteries, ensure battery compartments are child-proof, and keep loose batteries far out of reach. More about safety, this pediatrician would never allow her kids to
Swim in a pool without an adult at arm's length.
Drowning, a tragedy that remains the leading cause of unintentional injury-related death for children aged 1 to 4. Most incidents happen in home swimming pools and often within minutes of a brief lapse in supervision. No wonder she recommends staying within arm's reach of young children in or near water every single time. Early swimming lessons and physical barriers like self-latching gates around pools can also make a life-saving difference. There's one everyday activity that might surprise you with how risky it can be. We'll circle back to that in just a moment. Listen up.
I would make sure that my kids would never text and drive.
Parents, you don't need to be warned how dangerous distractions can be, but the statistics are staggering. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, texting while driving increases the likelihood of a crash by 23 times. In the United States alone, distracted driving claims approximately 3,000 lives annually. And a large percentage of these incidents involve drivers under the age of 20. Texting behind the wheel is especially dangerous because it combines 3 types of distraction: visual, manual, and cognitive. Do you know that at 55 miles per hour, a 5-second blink means your car can travel the length of a football field? Imagine how much could happen in the blink of an eye. For parents, teaching teenagers the dangers of distracted driving is not just about enforcing rules. You need to lead by example. Coming up next.
I would never let my child sleep in contacts.
This common mistake puts many kids at serious risk without them realizing it. Sleeping in contact lenses can restrict oxygen to the cornea, creating the perfect environment for bacteria to thrive. This increases the likelihood of infections, such as keratitis, which can cause severe pain, blurred vision, or even permanent damage. According to the CDC, about 1 in 500 contact lens users develop a serious eye infection annually, with sleeping in lenses being one of the leading causes. Parents, remind your children to always remove their lenses before bedtime, no matter how tired they may feel. Taking a few seconds to care for their lenses can save them from long-term vision problems. You will be absolutely surprised by this.
I would never let my kids feel guilty about their food choices.
This advice might sound surprising at first, but perhaps she is highlighting the importance of a positive relationship with food. Shame or guilt around eating can lead to unhealthy habits, including disordered eating patterns like binge eating or food restriction. After exploring the research, we discovered evidence linking negative emotions about eating to disordered behaviors. One study published in Current Psychology specifically highlighted how dietary restraint and emotional distress can lead to guilt around food, potentially contributing to unhealthy patterns. Instead of labeling foods as good or bad, parents can focus on teaching balance and moderation. Encourage your children to enjoy a variety of foods while understanding how nutrition fuels their bodies, creating a healthy foundation for life. Then one doctor said,
I would never let my kids go to school without teaching them about periods and birth control.
We've heard conversations about reproductive health. While this advice might feel like a leap for some parents, providing accurate information equips children to make informed decisions and avoids reliance on misinformation. Research supports this approach, showing that comprehensive sex education reduces the likelihood of teenage pregnancy by as much as 50% and promotes healthier relationships. Parents can start age-appropriate discussions early, focusing on normalizing topics like menstruation and explaining the basics of reproductive health. These conversations lay the foundation for children to approach their growth and responsibilities with confidence and understanding. No, this is a sure no. Sorry, it's not going to happen.
I will not let my kids do a sleepover.
I would actually never let my child go on a sleepover.
There are various risks associated with overnight stays. While sleepovers are often seen as a fun experience for children, the pediatrician emphasized the importance of assessing the environment thoroughly to ensure safety. Sleepovers might seem harmless, but they come with hidden risks. Unsecured weapons, unfenced pools, or inattentive hosts can turn a fun night into a nightmare. Keep in mind, your kids might live without proper supervision, facing bullying or exposure to inappropriate content. The most alarming dangers, like molestation or abuse, underscore why parents must carefully vet the household and everyone in it before saying yes. These concerns are echoed in a survey by Child Welfare Today, which found that 70% of parents worry about their child's safety during sleepovers. To address these risks, parents are encouraged to communicate openly with the host family, set clear expectations, and ensure their child knows they can call home at any time. Or you can simply say no to sleepovers, just as this pediatrician advises. Trusting your instincts and prioritizing your child's safety is always the right choice.
What's one thing as a pediatrician you won't let your kids do?
Use their electronics in bed.
Many parents might overlook this habit. At first glance, it seems harmless. After all, what's a few minutes of screen time to unwind? But the truth is, those glowing screens can disrupt sleep and affect your child's health in ways you might not expect. The blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals bedtime. This leads to poor sleep quality and even insomnia over time. Research shows that children who use electronics before bed are more likely to struggle with mood swings, difficulty focusing, and even weight gain due to disrupted sleep patterns. Instead of allowing screens in the bedroom, parents can create a calming nighttime routine. Think of storybooks, gentle music, or simple conversations to help children relax and wind down. It's a small change, but one that can make bedtime healthier and more peaceful for everyone. And remember, the habit of restful, screen-free sleep is a gift they'll thank you for later in life. And, no surprise, doctors will not let their kids
Smoke cigarettes or vape.
I would never let my kids vape.
Finally, doctors are addressing this issue. We all know the health risks that smoking brings. But what about vaping? While some perceive vaping as a safer alternative to smoking, emerging research paints a concerning picture. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warns that e-cigarette aerosol isn't as harmless as it looks. It contains harmful substances, including cancer-causing chemicals and tiny particles that burrow deep into the lungs, more than enough to make you think twice. But here's the kicker. Even without nicotine, vaping has an immediate and alarming effect on your body. Research presented at the Radiological Society of North America revealed that just one vaping session can cause a significant drop in blood flow velocity and venous oxygen saturation. Imagine this. Your body is essentially starved of vital oxygen, all for a few puffs of vapor. Parents, it's crucial to understand that vaping is not a harmless activity. Talking openly with your children about the immediate and long-term dangers of e-cigarettes can make all the difference. These conversations empower them to make smarter choices, steering clear of nicotine addiction and the serious health issues that come with it. A little honesty now could save them a world of trouble later. Listen to this. This pediatrician won't let her kids
Go to the beach without sunscreen.
One thing that I am really particular about is sun exposure, sunburns.
It's easy to dismiss sunburn as a minor discomfort, redness, peeling skin, and a little regret for skipping sunscreen. But the truth is far more serious. Did you know that just one blistering sunburn during childhood more than doubles the risk of developing melanoma later in life? According to the Skin Cancer Foundation, repeated sunburns, and even everyday UV exposure, can quietly add up to long-term skin damage, no matter how cloudy the day seems. The good news? The solution is as simple as it is effective. Make sunscreen your family's go-to habit, not just an afterthought. Apply SPF 30 or higher every 2 hours, especially after swimming or sweating. And don't overlook spots like the ears or the back of the neck. For even better protection, pair sunscreen with a wide-brimmed hat and UV protective clothing. Think of it this way. Sunscreen is your child's invisible armor against future skin issues. The best protection is prevention. Taking this small step today could spare them a lifetime of regret.
Quickly, what is one thing as a pediatrician you will not let your kids do?
Jump on a trampoline.
I would never own an in-home trampoline.
This shared concern among doctors sheds light on a growing concern: the hidden dangers of activities we often consider harmless. Trampolines. They may seem like a staple of backyard fun, but they're also a top contender for childhood injuries. In fact, over 1 million trampoline-related injuries landed kids in U.S. emergency rooms between 2002 and 2011. And here's the alarming part: not all injuries are minor. While many involve fractures or sprains, some result in life-altering damage like spinal cord injuries or head trauma. A single misstep can mean paralysis or chronic pain, transforming a carefree afternoon into a lifelong regret. Similarly, a neurosurgeon added,
I would never let my son ride an ATV.
yes, ATVs might seem exhilarating, but their danger is hard to ignore. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, these vehicles cause over 100,000 injuries every year, with many involving children under 16. These injuries often result from rollovers, collisions, and inexperienced handling, all of which can result in traumatic brain injuries, TBIs, or severe fractures. TBIs are particularly devastating, leaving permanent impacts on a child's cognitive abilities, motor skills, and emotional well-being. The thrill of these activities is understandable, but parents, the risks are undeniable. If you choose to allow trampolines, prioritize safety. Use a safety net and limit it to one jumper at a time. For ATVs, insist on strict supervision, proper protective gear, and age-appropriate vehicles. That said, many doctors agree that the safest choice is steering clear altogether. Fun is important, but not at the cost of your child's safety. If you follow closely, the risks raised by these medical professionals fall into three main categories: physical safety risks, like injuries from trampolines, ATVs, or unsupervised swimming; health-related dangers, such as the long-term effects of vaping, sun exposure, or unhealthy eating habits; and emotional and psychological risks, including bullying during sleepovers or guilt surrounding food. Each category demands not just attention, but proactive steps from parents to ensure their kids' safety and well-being. Each doctor's warning reflects their unique expertise and the patients they see every day. A pediatric anesthesiologist might sound the alarm on choking hazards, while a neurosurgeon underscores the devastation of head trauma. An orthopedic spine surgeon witnesses the lifelong effects of trampoline injuries, and an OB/GYN emphasizes the need for early education about reproductive health. Together, these perspectives share one undeniable truth: no risk is too small when it comes to protecting children. Parents, consider this your wake-up call. Kids are naturally curious and adventurous. They see the world as a playground, often unaware of the risks around them. So your role is to guide, protect, and create a safe, nurturing space for them to grow and thrive. Now, here's a question for you. What's the one thing you'd never allow your kids to do? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found these insights helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more expert-backed advice on parenting. Together, we can ensure our kids stay safe, happy, and ready to take on the world. See you in the next video.